There it is down there.
There it is, right there.
Let's leave everything and go traveling. See what tomorrow brings. It's only a choice away. Let's back up and leave today. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
We had a nice night's sleep here, next to a little river. We were up bright and early so we could make it to the hydroelectric plant before 7 a.m. The hydroelectrica is the end of the road for vehicles, but luckily you can park there overnight while you visit Machu Picchu. Luckily, we made it with time to spare, parked the trucks, and gathered everything we would need for our hike to Machu Picchu and one night in Aguas Calientes, the town at the base of Machu Picchu.
Makes it look easy. Ready to hike?
Do this. Ready to hike to the hike.
What Tim is referring to is that we have a pretty flat hike, about 7 miles, to the base of the mountain where Machu Picchu is perched. Then, to make it to the ruins themselves, we climb for another 5 miles, gaining 1,279 feet of elevation. Then we will be at the entrance to Machu Picchu. So, off we went.
Oh, they probably won't have toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you get toilet paper?
I do have toilet paper. Of course she does.
Toilet paper and wet wipes.
Yes, we do. Both. I do.
We're gonna have to think of things and try. Do you have?
Do you have this? Do you have...
I've tried.
Did you bring an electric scooter? Because we brought one. We're going to ride down the tracks.
Did you bring a raft for the river?
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah,
do
do bring a raft. Electric bicycle.
You're thinking too small. Paraglider.
There you go. Step it up a notch, right? Cool.
All the cars locked? Is our car? You got the keys?
Yeah.
Okay.
The crazy
Oh
car
no, the kids
alarm
were
one.
locked in the car.
I know, the kids locked in the car. Ah! Here we go. We're walking to Machu Picchu. Woo!
Walking to Machu Picchu.
What a pretty hike. It's so pretty. And so far pretty easy because we're on the, I'll probably eat those words, but we're just on the train grade, so hasn't been very steep and pretty, and we even have a doggy to escort us so far. So far so good. Ready?
As you can see, we are walking along a train track. This track brings people from Cusco and Ollantaytambo to Aguascalientes. We had decided to walk. 1, because why not get some exercise and be in nature? And 2, the cheapest ticket for the train was about $140 per person. When you add that to the $45 entry fee to Machu Picchu, it starts to add up quick. So we decided to use our legs and save some money. We had made it to the hard part, the climb.
What are we doing?
We're walking.
We found the stairs, so it was pretty flat most of the way to Aguascalientes.
It's not flat anymore.
It's not flat anymore. So we're feeling the elevation, but we're gonna make it and we're timing ourselves.
I'll try, yeah.
Hopefully we make it before 1.
I'll try.
This was the best Stairmaster I've ever been on. Lots of big steps. And the heat of the day was in full swing, so it was a very hot and humid climb. And there was 0 breeze, so it got a little sweaty.
Having fun? Is this a good time?
You're doing fine.
Are we there yet?
Yeah, pretty much. We're at the second switchback
Of 8 or something.
of 8. Yeah, something like that. Oh, see. Thank you.
The second of what?
Switchbacks like.
As we neared the top, we heard the hum of the crowds.
We are at Disneyland, pretty much. But we're at Machu Picchu. We just hiked up. We just hiked from the hydroelectric plant along the train tracks, which is what, 8 kilometers, 10? Something? I don't know. Something like that. And then hiked up to the top here. We're waiting at the entrance until 1 p.m., which is our time to go in. Seems like it's busy at all hours, so we'll see.
And we got beers
And a Snickers. And it costs 50 soles, so probably the most expensive meal we've had in a long time.
Yeah, hilarious, but it is like Disneyland. There are so many people up here. And the hike sucked, but it actually wasn't too bad. The first part was super easy, really flat. And then the next part was just a lot of stairs.
Yeah,
Doable.
totally doable.
We made it in like 3 hours, just over 3 hours. All of it. Yeah.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Timmy made it in.
We made it in.
I think first I'm going to go on the log ride. And then after that, we'll
Jungle
do the jungle
cruise.
cruise. Yeah.
So far, this is magical. Look at
We're just kind of being herded in right now. Hopefully we can find little paths and places to go without so many people. Get a video of
Okay, so there were a lot of people. We expected that. But check out the views.
There it is down there.
There it is, right there. That's our road. Yeah, because all I saw when we looked up were the gardens. Kind of going, okay, there's their farming. But
We looked down to realize we could see the trail we had hiked along the river on below.
step up there.
Shannon has a map. Like you two in the front being crazy and Tim's super serious in the back.
Deep thought.
Oh yes.
Yo, what up? We in Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu means Old Peak in Quechua, and it is believed to have been a royal estate or a sacred religious site for the Inca leaders. But like every other ruin we have visited, the history is a bit murky, and there aren't many concrete facts. But I can tell you it was officially discovered in 1911 by Hiram Bingham. Until then, it was only known to the natives in the region. although there are some mentions of missionaries visiting and even the possibility that a German businessman plundered the site in 1867. But none of this is documented, so because Mr. Bingham was the first to be vocal about the ruins, he gets the credit for discovering Machu Picchu. Bingham was not a trained archaeologist. He was actually a history professor of South American studies at Yale University. Sound familiar? Indiana Jones is rumored to have been based on Mr. Bingham. Anyway, in 1911, he organized an expedition to Peru through Yale. He wanted to search for the Inca capital, the Lost City. Once in Cusco, Bingham met with the faculty of the university there, who told him he knew of a farmer who spoke of extensive ruins high up on a mountain near his home. So, the expedition headed into the Sacred Valley, and on July 23rd, not far off from the date we were visiting, the farmer led Bingham and Sergeant Carrasco across the river and up the mountain. At the top, they came across a hut with some natives living in it who were farming the original Machu Picchu terraces. When Bingham inquired about the ruins, an 11-year-old boy led them to what they had been searching for, although Bingham was not convinced. The ruins were so covered with vegetation that it was hard to see just how big Machu Picchu was. Bingham returned the following year with support from not only Yale, but also National Geographic, and they started the clearing of the site with local labor. This effort continued in 1914 and 15. During this period, an estimated 40,000 artifacts, mummies, bones, and ceramics were removed from the site. Today, the site is fully uncovered and has even been somewhat restored. I can only imagine what it would have felt like to come to this place when it was untouched. Now that would be a truly one-of-a-kind experience. Today, Machu Picchu is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and has been since 1983. It has been designated one of the new 7 wonders of the world, and I find myself pretty jealous of anyone who had the chance to see this amazing place before it was the tourist attraction it is today.
And back down we go.
Back down we go indeed. About where we could hear the top.
It's a lot easier down. Well, we did it. We made it all the way down. And now we're walking into the little city of Aguas Calientes, which is just at the bottom of the mountain. And we have a Airbnb. So we're gonna go check in and check it out, and then probably go eat something.
Of food, and hopefully have a nice cold beer.
Yeah.
The next morning,
Good morning, everyone. We are in our hotel room. So last night we walked up to Aguascalientes,
to Patreon.
and the Airbnb that we had booked, we go into it, finally find it in the town. And
So on the map too, it didn't show the location correctly because what they did for this Airbnb, so they get more takers, is they put pins all over the town of Aguascalientes. But it's only 2 hostels or hotels or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it that are actually listed on Airbnb.
But Google doesn't know that. So we went all over the city looking for this place. We finally get there. She takes all our information, copies our passports, does all that stuff, tries to sell us on more tourist attractions, and then she's like, all right, I'll take you to your room. And she walks out of the front door, and
Like
we're
the
like,
way we came in.
okay, and walks us around into an alley, down into like this little dingy door, and is like, here, this is going to be your hostel.
He'll
And
take care of you, so she hands us
so
off
she
to
hands
another
us off,
guy.
and we go through the whole process of trying to be sold on tourist attractions and checking in and da da da. Then when he shows
We're
us,
just like, who are you?
Yeah,
Why
like,
are we
why
at
are
this
we
other
here?
hotel or hostel down the street in an alley? Yeah.
So anyways, we go up to our room. It's awful. It's like there's black mold and it's disgusting and dirty and loud, and the internet doesn't even work. And so we were like, ugh, okay, this isn't what we booked. So we walked down the street, checked in a couple hotels. They're all really expensive because we're
Yeah.
in tourist
So I've got,
city.
Hotels.com, Priceline.
We're exhausted at this point. Like we've
Kayak.
been walking.
We
all day.
barely made it to the hotel, I have
Yeah.
to be honest, because we yesterday walked from the Hydroelectrica to the base of Machu Picchu, up the thing. We didn't take any buses or
all around
trains.
Machu Picchu.
All around, back down,
Down.
and then walked to the town. And so we're just barely
We're so done.
moving at this point. And I'm just checking online. And then the cheapest hotel in town that had good reviews was a place called Gringo Bill's. All right.
So we walked to Gringo Bill's, and
But it was
luckily
like
they had-
$75 for a room. We were paying $30 for
think
the
it was
Airbnb.
50.
No, it was 75. And so then when we got to the front desk,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
so that was
like,
nice.
we
I
didn't
just
pay
told them, I
75.
said, hey, we just want to see how much a room is. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
there's any discounts for anything, AAA or whatever. I was looking for anything at this point. I said, we had an Airbnb sort of bait and switch on us, and I don't know what we're going to do. And the lady kind of looks over at somebody on a laptop who I think is the manager or owner or something.
Yeah.
And they spoke. And I could get what they were saying. Like, yeah, how about that room? Okay. And then I heard them say 50 in Spanish. And so I was like, I hope that's the dollar amount.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being $50. It's cheaper than anywhere online, just walking in, and
Yeah.
either
And
they were
it's
just really
a
nice, or it just happened to be cheaper
A
in
decent
person.
room. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nothing
Biggest
fancy,
bed
but
we've
it's
had
way nicer than
in
what
6
we're-
months on
Yeah.
the road. Anyways, it's like a real queen size bed. It's two
Yeah.
singles pushed together,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
So, anyways, we slept.
Worked out.
I slept good last night. Did you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
I think after doing that much yesterday and knowing like, okay, what do we got to do today? My mind was racing a little, but slept pretty good.
Yeah. So this morning we're meeting back up with everybody and walking back to the trucks, and then probably just drive a little bit and find a camp spot.
Yeah. Yeah, because it'll take us 2 hours to hike back to the truck, I think. Then we're meeting everybody in like 10 minutes, so we had better
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So with that, we set off back along the train tracks towards the Hydroelectrica and our trucks. We had seen Machu Picchu. It was an incredible place, but it was hard to get my mind around it. I have to be honest, the crowds kind of tainted the experience for me. Still totally worth seeing, but it was a bit annoying to be dodging selfies every 5 seconds. It made me wish these ruins were a little bit harder to access. But again, I'm a curmudgeon, and I have to say overall the last couple days exploring the Sacred Valley with friends was amazing, and I would definitely recommend putting this area on your list.
So we're looking up at Machu Picchu from the bridge down on the river hike here. And then see the line over there? Somewhere along there, we don't know exactly where, is the Inca Bridge, and that's where they had a gap with some logs and they could remove so nobody could get in or out. Sort of a protective measure. But you can see that little tree line right along there. Pretty neat.
All right, we made it back to the Hydroelectrica and the trucks. And it was a pretty easy walk today, so not much to complain about.
See how Goose is doing.
Up hurts.
Yeah, I'm feeling it was feels like it's stretching even though it's walking. I thought he'd wash it at least.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed. I'm sure some of you have visited Machu Picchu yourselves, so let us know what your experience was like in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
It's just so majestic. Peaceful. Are you at one? Are you one with me? Go ahead, buddy.
Denle paso nomás, no hagan bulla. Camina por todos lados.
He's going. He knows where he's going.
Yeah, he does. He really wanted that bit of grass.
He will spit on me, right? Just know
Don't
it.
make it mad.